Hello, co-creators. I'm Kelly Keith. I'm a spiritual happiness life coach, and I went to Egypt for 2 weeks. As some of you already know, I've been trying to put together this video. There's a lot of footage that I had gotten, and so I'm just gonna try to make it into 2 videos and they're going to be long videos because I don't want to take up too much space on my channel, but I do want to be able to share this with you. So the first video, which I am talking about right now and introducing you to, involves, because it's kind of like all over the place, right? Like we're on a tour and we have a tour guide and there's 44 people and it was a lot. I mean, there was no way I could have really been fully prepared for it. It was the best experience of my life. It was life-changing. This is something that I had gotten for myself there, this papyrus picture of the different stages of Isis. So continuing, the video is going to be kind of a little slow, but also jumping around. And if you watch it to the end, bless your heart. But it's just for the minds of people that are interested in my trip and what I experienced through my perception and my eyes. So yes, in the first video that I'm talking about, we went into the Giza pyramid. We were not allowed to take the video inside when we went inside of it. We did go the night before. We got private access, and we went into the king's and the queen and the king's chambers, and we meditated for like 2 hours. It was amazing. But what is on the video is the Giza pyramid area from the outside perspective, which they even, like it shows in the video, you're not allowed to meditate there outside of the temples, or you're not allowed to do those things. It's illegal. So the little bit of rebelliousness that our group was doing, you can see on video. Like we did get in trouble a couple times, like not in trouble, but we got like shush, like shoot along. So you'll be able to see that in the video. Also, it was very, very hot. And there's just a lot of information to cover. Okay, so the outside of the Giza pyramid, you're gonna see some camels, you're gonna see my guide, and he's going to be explaining things in detail. I tried to get as close to him as possible to get it as clear as possible. Also, after that, in the video, you'll see the Great Sphinx. You will see the step pyramids of Saqqara. Forgive me if I do not pronounce these things right, these temples and pyramids, because I just really, I don't really know how to pronounce them all correctly, so don't shoot the messenger, all right? The step pyramids of Saqqara, necropolis. We went on the outside of that. A stone building in the world. It's the earliest colossal stone building in the world, built in the 27th century BC during the 3rd dynasty of the burial of Pharaoh Djoser. Pyramids of Onas from inside, the first pyramids in the world, which include inscription or magic spells. The pyramids texts. Serapeum of Saqqara, which was the ancient Egyptian burial place for sacred bulls of the Apis cult. At Memphis, it was believed that the bulls are incarnations of the god Ptah, which would become immortal after death as Osiris Apis. Nowadays, 24 I don't know this word, but I'm gonna try. Sarcophagi remain in the greater vaults. Most of them are over 2 meters, 6 by 6 feet in width and height, and almost twice as long. They weigh around 40 tons, 88,000, including their lids, which are about half as heavy. So also in the first video is the Konark Temple Heart Transmission Center, which is the largest temple complex in the world and is dedicated to Amun-Ra, the chief deity of the Ban Triad. Okay. And yeah, so that is what is covered in the first video. And I will see you in the introduction for the next video for the second. Bye for now. I hope you enjoy the video and my adventure. Hello co-creators, I'm Kelly Keith. I'm here in Egypt on a spiritual tour with Star Magic Healing. I'm just doing this little vlog to check in with you guys. It's just the beginning.
The unique pyramid of Cheops, the King Cheops.
I gotta get going. I'll check back in a little bit. Bye for now.
I know.
Group photo. Let's get together for a group photo.
والله العظيم بسأل عليك
الله
حتى
يسلمك.
اولادك يحفظوك جاي تشامبيون سي ريتر
خلينا بص بالله عليك الاول وبعدين
انا عارف اجي لك بعدين
Okay.
خالد
All other pyramids were built with limestone. This is the only one built with massive granite stone. But all the pyramids which we found had an outer case from limestone, colored limestone. Limestone from the aquarium, it's almost 20 kilometers from here. It's not a big deal, but the granite stone, the only aquarium we have is in Aswan. So if you saw granite, it's Aswan granite. No other places. So for each stone, they have to transport it 1,000 kilometers to here. Then we have two issues. Bringing the stone here and think about stone in average between 2 and 16 tons. So the big stones use it first. When you go higher, the stones will be smaller. How to transport this massive stones? Almost 2.3 million stones, granite stones. The second, how to manage all of this, how to build the pyramids, how they build the pyramids. We think they built a ramp, but even the ramp which go higher to the top of the pyramids, which 146 meter height, it will be like, we need like 25 kilometer long ramp. That's massive.
It is massive.
Yeah. So, building the ramp is exactly so hard as building the pyramid itself. A ramp, 25 kilometer long ramp, to go to the height of 146 meters, it's impossible. Then the second series, it was not a long ram, it was around the pyramid. To go to the height of the pyramid, that makes more difficult. They have to go around the pyramid each time. So it's all theory. We don't have any evidence. The only evidence that we have that this pyramid belonged to Cheops is only an inscript we found inside the pyramid. I was here, I worked in the pyramid of Cheops. The only inscription. And many people think this inscription came very late. Working on it in the renovation or in the building itself. Because the pyramids were used like hundreds of years after. Many pharaonic kings renovated the monuments of their father and grandfather and grandfather. We have the first Egyptologist in the history is the son of Ramses II. He started to renovate the good thing which his father and grandfather built. Ka-Imwas is the first Egyptologist in the history of Egypt. So it's not clear if this inscription, right, he was building the pyramids or renovating it after a while. What we have, of course, that the famous Egyptologist Zahi Hawass found in one of his excavation in Wadi Garf. It's like 150 kilometers from here, in a tomb, an inscription called a worker. He is writing exactly that he got the order from the king to go and seek the best stones for his pyramids. And that's the first evidence, direct evidence, I was sent from the king Cheops to bring back the best stones for his pyramids. But still, it's not sure that the pyramids belong to Cheops, and it's not. We don't have enough evidence to see or to know how they built the pyramids itself. Of course, when you see that they built it in exactly 100% succeeded to smooth the stones and to put it over and over, but till now we can't scan the pyramids. Because to scan the pyramids, we need air. There's no air between the stones. So if we scan the pyramids, you will have a dark picture. So the only way they found for 10 days, they found over. The main entrance is not the original entrance. The original entrance is above, and they found a new hole. They are working in scan pyramids, but they are scanning the pyramids with another technique. They are measuring the warmth. If you have a stone and another stone, this stone will produce another temperature as a stone which behind empty spaces. So they managed to find some caves, some holes, some chambers inside the pyramids. We still have the issue which we send a reporter inside these chambers, these tunnels, and the first one get to a step, then returned 1 year. It takes them 1 year to build another reporter who managed to get over the step and go further, and he find a stone closing the tunnels. So they made another reporter and digging inside the first stone, and we found another stone. That means it's closed. That means it has to be something behind. They did it in purpose, to close it, But now they are thinking, or they didn't find a way. It's very narrow. That means the robot is a small one. So we need a bigger one with bigger power to get through the first stone and to get through the second stone. It's till now it's impossible. We didn't find any way to go through because the first stone is like 12 centimeter and the second will be the same. So you need really powerful robot to dig through the two stones. Still we have so much to do for the pyramids and other tombs, but maybe it's not the right time to know. If they want that we know the information, they would make it easier. To know, to have the information, you have the power, but you have to be ready for this power. So everyone come to Egypt, ask me, I need to know. So I ask them, are you ready?
Exactly.
When we are ready, we will get in the right time, the right information. Till now, enjoy the pyramids, enjoy the scenes. As I told you, the original place is above. This entrance which we use was made in the 9th century. The Muslim Khalifa Al-Ma'mun was told that go inside the pyramids, you will find the secret of life and gold and silver. As he went, broke into the pyramids was empty. So all the pyramids, most of the pyramids we found were empty, with a few exceptions. This outer case is limestone. So imagine that the pyramids, all the pyramids, have
The
an
pyramid
outer
Giza.
case, smooth outer case, maybe
Giza. The pyramid
snow
Giza.
white, maybe colored as well, reflecting the sun. So that normal
King chambers and the queen chambers and the
about
well.
the normal building from mastaba, from a tomb to mastaba to a pyramid
It's been discovered already.
was really wanted because very early in the first dynasty we saw the phoenix, a papyrus showing the phoenix is sitting on the top of a pyramid shape. And the phoenix is related to the main god Ra, the sun god. The sun god rays come and sit on the top of his pyramid. The pyramids in hieroglyphic means mirror and have the same symbol as bread. Maybe they meant to say bread is the food for the body and the pyramid is the food for the soul. It's considered as when you die, you go along the star, you step to the high to be a star and to live with the gods for the eternal life. When you have a picture from the pyramid from above, you will see it's not 4 sides, it has like 8 sides. Not 4. But the 4 sides here is exactly going to the 4 directions, south, east, and so on. The king chambers, we saw that the king chamber there was 2 tunnels. They are going exactly to 2 stars, and the stars is a symbol of the one of Isis and the other one is Osiris. That means the king, when he dies, all the king will become Osiris, the ruler of the underworld. So they have the Osiris shape as the mummy. So when he died, he go and take his place as Osiris, and of course on the other side, he go and visit his wife, Isis. So it's symbolic. We have to understand symbolic because they worked was symbolic in ancient Egyptian. They never have been direct, they use symbolic. So if you want to understand the Egyptian culture, you have to understand the religion, because it was the original. All they did in a purpose belong to the religion. All we will see during this trip, tombs, temples, tombs, pyramids. But we've never seen palace. We'll never see a house, because the Egyptian believes this life is not important. It's only a phase. It's very short. So when he built his house, his home, he built it with the stone which he got. He knew exactly he will not live alone. But he has to work for the after. This is the eternal life. This life will not be born. So the king, he built the palace. He built the palace with a normal stones, cheap. But when he built his tomb, he used granite. He used, because the tomb, he will stay at the tomb long time. But he knew in this life it's not important. It's only the test which if I succeed, I will go on and live the eternal life. So all the monuments, all what we see is belongs to this idea. I want to be safe in the after.
Camel time.
ايوه طبعا. وانا لما اقول لك لما نشوف
All the camels.
They're all tied down to sit there. They can't even get up.
They're just waiting to be ready.
Thank you. People stand beside. Oh, nice tattoo.
Oh, that's funny.
Look. Take one for you. Take one for you.
Just
Stand
make
beside.
him give you a kiss again.
Again.
Oh, so cute.
Lady, kiss for you. Kiss for you. Kiss for you.
I'm glad you are. Thank you. Yeah, I know. But they just
That's lazy. Is it? It's the mother gods. Isis is the Holy Virgin Mary. Isis is Venus. Isis is Ishtar. In a very rare text from the time of Greek Roman, it's very interesting. Isis speaks and says, I am the queen. I'm the goddess. The Greek Roman call me with the name of Venus. The Greek Venus. The Roman Hera. And the Surah call me Ishtar. And the texts go on till the end. But the Egyptian and the Nubian, who had the original knowledge, call me with my name, Queen Isis. Isis, when Osiris was building the Trinity,
It just went out.
And I will show you at the museum this Syrianity. Isis, Isit means the throne. Isis is the mother of all human creature to the God. And the child is safe when he sits on the lap of his mother. Isis is the throne. She has the throne on his head. And when the king is sitting on his throne, he's sitting on the lap of Isis. He's safe, perfectly safe. And in the museum, I will show you the king is sitting on the throne, building the Trianity. Osiris, he become to Osiris, Isis, and Horus is in the back of him. That's the Trianity. So the symbolic of the religion is very difficult. And Isis went to the gods and claimed that the uncle of Horus will try to kill him as he was a child, and all the gods were asking him, why do you know such information? And she answered, I am the one who know what's happening before and what will happen. Isis, in the temple of Isis, this is the only temple who overcome all the religions. 352, Egypt became the official religion in the Christianity, but till 535, Isis was the only temple opened, was the only temple which the Egyptian make the pilgrim to the temple, to Isis. So Isis exists after 200 years after Christianity, because Isis was the connection between the religion in old Egypt and the Christianity. What we are talking about, the Holy Virgin Mary becomes a son without any sexual contact. That's Isis. She got pregnant from. She took the child and hide herself from the uncle, Virgin Mary. Went to the and that's my master. I wrote about this. I spent 2 years in my life working this. And Horus and Jesus, they have 31 points in common. Even Horus is the savior, the one who saves the world, and they have the same titles. So I think when the Egyptians believe in the Christianity, they don't feel that much different. It's like the same. And we see this we have here
What'd you find? Oh wow.
examples
That's a fossil.
of tools
Oh, they all are.
with colored normally when we get from the inside, the entrance, he scanned the tools and welcome the visitors to the left and to the right, beside his son. No, it's a private tombs dated back to 5th dynasty, the same time as the pyramids. ثواني بس okay. And it's huge tombs.
Thank you.
This place, do you see the inscriptions?
Yep.
or the rest of the inscription. So the visitor come here, making the rituals, and the soul comes through the first door, through the second first door, and join the rituals.
That's right, man.
The angles are all fucked up. It's a bad fucking angle. Keep going. Just finish it. Yeah, not enough. Oh.
Yeah. Bumping my head.
Yeah, the other one was this, but uphill. Yeah, but this is short. Cheese and burger. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Yeah.
Hey, airdrop that to me,
What's this
please.
temple called? What's this temple called?
I don't know.
Okay. Or pyramid? It's a pyramid, right? It's not a temple.
Huh?
This is a pyramid.
I think, yeah, this is, this is the next pyramid that we're hitting. Then we're gonna go to the highest spot after this. Subscribe. Tell me about it.
I'll give you a flyer.
Oh, yeah?
A flyer. You know, that could be construed as many things. You're from LA.
Hey.
Shit's the marketer. Hello. Oh my God.
Say that again. More now? My God, too.
No, yeah, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad? All right.
This way is much easier.
Use the rail.
Now we're going up. We're just going down. It isn't that bad. Better than last time.
Room than the other one.
Oh my gosh.
Last time.
People coming from the other side as we're going up. They're zooming down.
Go down the tunnel.
All right, up and down. Okay.
You can't really see. I'm trying to show the whatchamacallit. The stairs.
Yeah, the shaft.
Thank you, shaft.
I wouldn't call it a stairs.
Shaft consciousness.
Shaft consciousness. Yeah.
Are you recording too? already?
Yeah.
So you saw yourself on the shaft?
Yeah.
I gotta get myself on the shaft on the way back.
I didn't get me, I was just getting the shaft.
That he knows under the Sphinx. Of course, the ministry here are very skeptical about such issue, especially no one saw the plates in original. There's photos, but the original, we don't know where is the original. We don't know who is translated. But in the meantime, they said it's nonsense, but in the meantime, they give the permission to American committee to dig here and search about this hole in, under the Sphinx. 1993, they done a lot of research and dig there deep. They didn't find anything till now. We didn't find anything. Sphinx has a hole in his chest and in his neck and on the top of the head. On the top of the head, maybe it's original one, because all the statue in Egypt, they have a crown, and the crown is not, the statue is a statue and the crown is separately on the top of the head. Why? Because the statue in the temples, I will show you in Edfu temple, they have different crowns according to the feast and according to certain days. He has a different crown. So, but the neck has a hole in his neck, and English archaeological tried to get into the Sphinx, and he didn't succeed it. But the hole on the chest, the sleeping prophet, Edward Casey, he mentioned these secret chambers in the chest of Sphinx, and this chambers, this hole in his chest was opened only once and only for 2 weeks, and the government closed it. Never one speak about it again.
And nobody knows why.
I think a bunch of people died.
So
Booby traps.
we will go inside.
Hey, can I ask
Edward Casey. Yes, Sphinx, to show the people he's not perfect. We have the two story, but certainly in 1130, there was a Muslim historical guide. He came here and he saw the Sphinx with the nose. 1325, the other historical mentioned Sphinx without nose. So he lost the nose.
So he lost it in that early
Yeah,
range.
yeah.
I heard he lost it in like 1800.
No.
Okay, so he lost it between 1300.
1100, 1300. So
Wow.
he lost the crown. He lost
Was
his
that just
nose.
missing? It's just missing?
It's missing, yeah. And we have we have a lot of people talking. Just a second. We have the female Sphinx. We have female Sphinx and male Sphinx. The male Sphinx, all Egyptian Sphinx are male Sphinx. The female Sphinx is the Greek Roman Sphinx. In Deutsch, there are Sphinx and these Sphinx. On the face, you can tell the face. Even we have a Sphinx from Hatshepsut, the Queen Hatshepsut. But if you see the face, she looks like a man, a king. Was a false god. She was a queen. She was a female.
But she refused to get married and she dressed up like a man.
First lesbian?
No. You that's because she was always. No, she was not transgender. I will show you. We found a very intimate scene in a private tomb with the wazir, and he was in a very intimate scene with a queen.
Okay.
And he has a very strange title, the one who is responsible for the sleeping room of her majesty. He was the only one who get to her sleeping room.
Security guard.
But the issue, she was always the man on the temples because she was ready, or she was making rituals. And if you make sport, you will not go with a kite, with a dress. But I will show you, in certain places, she has a very wonderful dress and very feminine.
She was hiding.
No, if you want to make rituals, you will
Become masculine.
run. You will make some sport. So you
So the
have to
job,
wear.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
You
her
have to
job.
wear.
She had to be
Yeah.
like mine. I'm a
So
truck
here, the 10 pound, we found this statue here. One of the top 10 at the museum. Why? Because this statue, I will show you tomorrow, this statue, the hardest stone we have in Egypt, we say granite, but this one is duet. It's harder than granite. Direct, yeah. And it's most impossible to use this in making such a wonderful statue. Because for granite we use diorite. But if you make a statue from diorite, what do you use?
You have to.
Laser.
You have to use diamond.
But at that time they didn't use diamond. How do you use diamond to cut the stones? Laser. Laser.
Extraterrestrial.
You don't use diamond alone. You use it in a laser machine.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Proof.
And all over you. Long time he was under the sand and under the water. Yeah. So they made irrigation system around Sphinx to avoid the water and renovated to give him stability. Is it? Is it? The mother gods. Isis is the Holy Virgin Mary. Isis is Venus. Isis is Ishtar. In a very rare text from the time of Greek Roman, it's very interesting. Isis speaks and says, I am the queen. I'm the goddess. The Greek Roman call me with the name of Venus. The Greek Venus, the woman Hera, and the Surah call me Ishtar, and the text go on till the end. But the Egyptian and the Nubian, who had the original knowledge, call me with my name, Queen Isis. Isis, when Osiris was building the Trinity, it just went out. And I will show you at the museum this Trinity. Isis, Isit means the throne. Isis is the mother of all human creature to the God. And the child is safe when he sits on the lap of his mother. Isis is the throne. She has the throne on his head. And when the king is sitting on his throne, he's sitting on the lap of Isis. He's safe, perfectly safe. And in the museum, I will show you the king is sitting on the throne, building the Trinity. Osiris, he became to Osiris, Isis, and Horus is in the back of him. That's the Trinity. So the symbolic of the religion is very difficult. And Isis went to the gods and claimed that the uncle of Horus will try to kill him as he was a child, and all the gods were asking him, why do you know such information? And she answered, I am the one who know what's happening before and what will happen. Isis, in the temple of Isis, this is the only temple who overcome all the religions. 352, Egypt became the official religion in the Christianity. But till 535, it was the only temple opened, was the only temple which the Egyptian make the pilgrim to the temple, to Isis. So Isis exists after 200 years after Christianity. Because Isis was the connection between the religion in old Egypt and the Christianity. What we are talking about, the Holy Virgin Mary becomes a son without any sexual contact. That's Isis. She got pregnant from. She took the child and hide herself from the uncle, Virgin Mary. Went to the and that's my master. I wrote about this. I spent 2 years in my life working this. And Horus and Jesus, they have 31 points in common. Even Horus is the savior, the one who saves the world, and they have the same titles. So I think when the Egyptians believe in the Christianity, they don't feel that much different. It's like the same. Locked in the basement. So that's why we thought we're gonna need a bigger museum for only the treasure of Tutankhamun, and beside Tutankhamun treasure, we will pick the masterpieces, and it will be one of the biggest museum in the world. Very modern, but still the Egyptian museum, the old one, is very interesting because it will be a tour, a guided tour through the history of Egypt, starting from the pre-dynastic time till the late period. Yesterday I explained the old kingdom, which begins like 3200 BC. The first and second dynasty, the tombs under the ground, starting from the third dynasty, established the time of the pyramids with the step pyramids, the first pyramids, the step pyramids, and the fourth pyramids is the Cheops pyramids. The third, fourth, fifth dynasty, all the kings was buried in a pyramid. After that, when the religion changed and the sun god Ra took over and became a well-known god in Egypt, he's starting to change the pyramid shape to one mastaba, and over the mastaba it was like an obelisk or a pyramid. We are not sure, but it's a mastaba, and over the mastaba maybe obelisk, because the obelisk is related to the god Ra, the sun god, or a pyramid shape. The first intermediate period take around 120 years. Egypt was very unstable, civil war. In our museum, they escaped the intermediate period, the first, second, and third, because we don't have much from that time. So what we will find in our museum is the old pre-dynasty, old kingdom, middle kingdom, starting 2100 BC with a king. It's similar like the first dynasty, a king came from the south and reunited Egypt again and started another time the Middle Kingdom. And after that, the second intermediate period happens again. Egypt unstable, occupied by the Hyksos, 13, 14, 15 dynasty. Then again and again, a king with the name of Ahmos from Luxor, from the south, fights a long war against the Hyksos and managed to reorganize Egypt and managed to establish the new kingdom. The new kingdom is the most interesting time in Egypt, with the famous kings, 18 dynasty, with Tutankhamun, Eshnaton, Tutmosis the first, Tutmosis the second, Hatshepsut, the queen Hatshepsut. So most of the famous kings from that time, 18 dynasty. And the 19th dynasty with the king Ramses the first, Ramses the second. We have like 11 kings with the name of Ramses. We are talking about time around 1204 BC till the 21st dynasty. Then came the third intermediate period, civil war again, then the late period. With the late period and the last queen of Egypt was the Queen Cleopatra. We all know the history of the queen. She was they had a very strong personality. Did we all saw the film with Elizabeth Taylor? She was not pretty as Elizabeth Taylor. We have coins from that time. She had what we call it the Roman nose, but she was a lady with a very strong will. She controlled Rome. She married the first time with Caesar. And by that time, Egypt was very strong, equal to Rome. And after the death of Caesar, she married Antonio. 331 BC, it all ends in Egypt. Octavian, the Roman Kaiser, went to Egypt, fight a war against the queen and Antonio, and managed to win and take over Egypt. And starting from that time, Egypt was a country ruled by the Roman kings. We will have at the museum a guided tour, like 2 hours, around 2 hours. Then I will give you free time to discover the museum at your own.
Kelly Keith. Hello, co-creators. I'm here at the museum in Egypt. I'm gonna video as much as I can. Bye for now.
Bathroom, close to
caractérisation de la pierre. Alors celui-là, il faisait ses présentations avec des palettes. Alors ça, intéressant, c'est la palette de Narmer en schiste vert qui est décorée, qui date de 3200.
From Fayoum, Burnet.
A nume se tabou în vacanță?
You want book shakera? This $5. Sounds good. Need a box of cards?
Thanks so much. Thanks very much.
We have the Taos tomb, we have the pyramids, and we have the entrance. It's all symbolic. We have the Taos tomb and the Nose tomb. Imhotep, he's the one he's starting to experiment to make from the mastaba form this rectangular form to 6 steps mastaba. It was important. The king comes here and celebrating a certain feast, which we call it the Hibset So this complex is the oldest complex that we have made of stones. The first and the oldest one. It's all limestone.
Hello, co-creators. My name is Kelly Keith. I'm here at Saqqara, the Step Pyramids in Egypt. You can see the pyramid behind me. But first, we're going in. We're going in here. I'll be back soon. Bye for now. Looks like a jail, doesn't it? Kinda. Like a holding area. Oops, sorry. Huh.
So, this is the design of the base. When we finish the base, then they start to edit some parts from some sides just to make the right angle, right? So this is how first stage here.
They built it as a rectangular base
First, yes. So they built as a rectangular first. Then they
300 spells, magical form. When you go in the underworld, when you are facing this snake, you have to say the magical word. This magical word, then he will let you pass by. Otherwise, so it's the same when we make a trip to Egypt, we have to have a guidebook. And the Burmese Sticks, it's his guidebook in the underworld. And if he don't have this magical spell, he will not be able to overcome all the crocodiles, the snakes, and all the animals which he faces. It's massive, over 1,300 spells.
So do they need to know all of them?
Yes.
So did they like teach the children, their children this text? To memorize it type thing?
Yes, but we are talking about kings.
Oh,
It's only the kings.
Only the
And
kings know.
as a child, the king will go to the temple to learn very early. And he has to learn. Not only the Burman text. The Burman text is dated from the 5th dynasty, but after that we have a lot of texts, we have a lot of illustrations and a kind of magazine. I will show you in the Valley of the King.
Wow, a magazine.
And, yeah, with pictures and details to this journey which he will make with the sun god around the world. So, and in a text, we thought first, because when the soul come back to his body and he will stand up, then he will look at the wall. He don't have any time to look at the walls. So, in a text, say these books which he has to know in his lifetime. So he has to learn. So the first thing which the king know as a child, he go to the school and to the temple and been taught, because he's the same as the king, he representing the higher priest. And we have in the late time, we find a king which wrote, I know everything without any help from the priest. That we know he has problem with the priest. They didn't allow him to come and to see what they are doing. So the king is the higher priest. And very early, he has to learn everything. The Burman text, but starting from the New Kingdom, we have the mini books which he has to learn. Suffering, it's limestone. Limestone is not a massive stone like granite. Different, very soft. And the Burmans was like under renovation.
They have a solar panel there for some reason.
So, as we know, the Burmans were 3 times. اهلا اهلا ازيك زهير عامل ايه؟
Nice.
الحمد لله. ازيك يا استاذ هشام عامل ايه؟
كويس.
والله بسألك على طول الدكتور بتاعنا، فقال لي ده هو جاي مع مجموعه قريبه.
الله يخليك. 0.5 meter height in the pyramids and was twice extension. Why? We don't know. Is it the original plan was to build a small pyramid, then they extended in many direction, or if it from the beginning he wanted to reach that height, we don't know. But we know, of course, that the engineer Imhotep was a genie. He was an engineer. He was a medicine man. He was an astronomer, astrological. And he became a god. On 2,000 years after his death, we found his name in many temples. In the Greek-Roman time, he was Asclepius. He was the god Asclepius. So it must be something special about this man. The man who became a god in the Greek-Roman time. This pyramid is unique because, as I told you, the first pyramid, but it's unique in everything. I told you before that each pyramid is built for one king, with the exception of this pyramid. Maybe after they extended the pyramids, he overcome or he take other tombs inside for the royal family. So the royal family are in the pyramids now. The pyramids itself, when you go enter, it's like a whole pyramid. It's empty and has like a labyrinth inside. So it has a lot of tunnels, it goes up, a lot of tunnels go around, and a massive sarcophagus.
Do some of the tunnels end in like a wall, like when you just head in? Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
like the way
yes,
a lot of them
yes,
dead
yes,
end
yes,
sometimes?
yes. So the one is going up in a wall. And I'll show you on the other side, there's another tunnel which we think they pushed the sarcophagus through this tunnel. Is a massive sarcophagus made of granite. We found in the pyramids a mummy, but certainly we are very sure that belonged not to the king or any royal family. It was lying down, just lying down. Maybe it was removed from other tombs or they wanted to hide it, but it's not original place. We found in the pyramids as well over thousands of jars made of limestone as well and alabaster. Different rituals, and when you see the two holes, it's directed not to his eyes, because many people think because he want to see, but directly to his nose. The rituals when we burning essence, see, he must smell it.
Wow.
You can have a look.
What is this?
The two holes are made by a king.
That's the Greek name as well.
It sounds like a Greek.
The original name of the king is
I can't do it. I'll let everyone else go.
The north entrance, and probably the original one. You want to go?
Yes.
It's only a special opening.
Special.
And Indiana Jones. You go through
Indiana
tunnel in the middle, and you go through a lot of rooms, small rooms, with this faience which we saw at the museum. The Blau faience.
What is faience?
Faience mosaic. The blue one at the museum. This comes from here. And then you end with at the main hall with a massive sarcophagus made of granite. It's Abu Sir. Where we are now, 70. This area. On the other side, you find out the pyramids of Dahshur. All this area is full of pyramids.
Hashim? How do you say his name?
خلاص خلاص خفيف خفيف يا زعيم.
خلاص. There you go. Thank you. خلاص.
So finished خلاص. Directions. This bird will go to Egypt and deliver the message that the king wins and Egypt will be saved for the next 30 years. Such training or such dance to control the whole body. And we have here what they are doing here. No? It's like the music. They are making the tone for the dancer. Yeah.
Oh, for the dancer.
Yes. Another scene like what we saw before, that's fishing. And we have here, what we have here?
I don't know. It looks like frogs.
Crocodile, two crocodile.
That's a fat crocodile.
Yeah.
Oh.
What they are doing, and we said it has nothing to do with sexuality.
Okay.
But when the animals get together, only in a very good condition that they have the feeling it's safe. And here in my life, everything was reality, was safe. They are feeling safe.
Big animal.
Yeah.
Got it.
Ropes. He is controlling the animals. Having rope in his hand and pulling them out. Different kind of fish.
Biting its head.
It doesn't feel too bad. Yeah, that's a crocodile for sure. Or a hippo. Eating the crocodile.
Yes. And do we notice here? Do we notice something special here? The reliefs, it's not inscription, it's a relief. And that's much difficult. He has to make everything in the opposite direction. Inscription, he will go and make inscription in the wall. But look, that's not inscription. Yeah. Hoch relief. Yeah. And that's very, very difficult. Easier the inscription in the wall, but here he has to cut out the hippo out the wall. These small details showing the daily life. Here he is getting the cows over the Nile. And of course, a cow is afraid to cross the Nile. And he took the baby from his mother, pulled it on the boat, and the mother is crying with the tongue, trying to catch the baby, and all other will follow. And here, the second one is carrying the baby and going across the Nile. What he doing? What he is doing here? Milking the cow. Yes. And the other one is holding the leg. So different scenes from different daily life. Very good in details. That's a very rare scene. A big, very, very rare, because we know exactly that the old Egyptian thousands of years before Islam, they didn't eat pig. So it was forbidden to bring it at the temple. It was forbidden to make an offering for the god. Offering for the god is if you make a pig an offering for the god, the penalty is the death penalty. So pig was not very common in Egypt. So one of the most rare things that we find is feeding the pig, mouse to mouse. Okay, please don't touch the walls. Again, is standing and receiving the meaning of what I told you before, he can't hide any part of the body. So usually when he is holding the stick has to come here. Nobody will hold the stick in this position. But of course, when he make it, so he will hide a part of the body, and that's not allowed. So he has to show the perfect body. He has a perfect body. He has everything. The finger that he will come on the other life complete. Continue these offering things. So he's receiving. He's receiving the many offerings, all the tax, because they paid the tax through, of course, the animals and what they do, the bread, bringing bread, wine, and everything. Yeah. The pantofel. The leopard. The pantofel. It's actually a supper. The first door is very beautiful with inscription about what he's doing, and on the other side that's Gucci, from Gucci. From Gucci.
Oh, the bag, yeah.
The bag.
Yeah.
Gucci bag? Nice!
You
A
can
Gucci
carry
bag!
it. It's up to date. Till now. It's up to date.
So when you see,
There's
so when
another
you-
Gucci bag.
So when you see one that has been like removed, what does that mean? So intact, removed, intact.
No, it's not removed. The color.
No,
Because
right
it's-
here. Oh, right here.
Yeah. All the whole tombs. Because a lot of tombs was used after the Christian and used as a church for the place for stay. So we got afraid from this structure we find in the tombs and the timbers. We scratched the figures out. Yeah, but
Seems like legs this
that has no specific verbs. They all the same. They found it, but it was empty
There's no passage to it in here, right?
from the other side.
Oh, that makes
So we have a very good example, good colored,
You got like something like, yeah,
bringing,
a few times like that.
what is this?
These?
Yeah,
Trina.
linen.
Oh.
Linen?
Linen.
Yeah.
The stuff, yeah. Shal.
Is that for Anubis? Or-
That's Anubis, yes.
And then it's Anubis.
That's the hood.
Anubis.
Oh. And we did from here to in this direction.
I should put my phone. It's not good for these shoes.
I'll take it. I'm saying, I'm trying. Oh, if it was asking for something, I think it might have been asking.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello. I got you on camera. I got you on camera. I got you on camera. And I got you on camera. Hi. Hello. And we're here. Empty room. A lot of empty rooms.
Good? That's thank you. Watch your head. Watch your head. Watch your head. Come this way. Watch your head. Watch your head.
What is that? A hot tub? Is it a hot tub? Shut up.
It's hot. على حسابي لو حد جبت
A massive hot tub.
عشان اعمل لو حد This is the Portuguese milking TRTC. 6 dynasty, 2000 and what is the moment between the 18th, what is the factory? This is not the same interest, the interest more.
Pyramid and Titi pyramid, this is back to the 6th dynasty. Like Hisham told you, this is divided, the old kingdom divided into the 6 first dynasty from 1 till 6. In the 4th dynasty is the Giza pyramids, and this was the time of pyramids building. 4th dynasty, pyramids building, the 4th dynasty. This is this upgrade. First and second dynasty, this is all underground with only one step called mastaba. And then the 3rd dynasty came Djoser, the step pyramids, to change mastaba to be many mastabas, many steps together, and then the next upgrade to be triangle shape. Why triangle shape? Because this is to make every night the soul of the king just to go to the sky through this shape, to go to the sky and then return back. This is the believing of why choosing this shape. And in the Old Kingdom, Middle Kingdom also, it was New Kingdom. Even in the New Kingdom, they did a tomb in the rock. Also, they didn't relieve this or didn't ignore this shape. In the top of the mountain, Valley of the King, we are going to visit it, Valley of the King, you will see the same shape. Yeah, this is the same believing. But in the text, in the spell, there is movement, because it's not necessary, it's not acceptable to find yourself just in the same way, to take living, improve yourself. That's happened exactly in the Old Kingdom. In the Old Kingdom, we found the text. Look about this text. We found this only in the 5th and 6th dynasty. In the 4th dynasty, Giza Plateau, there is no inscription inside. There is no inscription.
This is the first time.
The first time in the 5th dynasty and 6th dynasty. The upgrading to be not in inside the pyramids, but to be in the coffin text. But firstly, pyramid text, and then upgrade to be coffin text in the coffin, and upgrade to be box in the New Kingdom, Imidwak box, and many of books to be related or suitable to help the dead one to cross the journey in the side. Yeah. Tiny entrance. This is also imaging something like maestry. They put it before building the pyramids.
Is that the reason?
And the
Is
ceiling,
that the
look
reason?
about the stars.
Is that the reason they put the stars there?
Yeah. Because this is
There's different levels. Is that different?
it's filled down, and it's been filled down. It was not like this. Yeah, for the long time, it's just to fill down a little bit some of this ceiling.
Looks like different dimensions.
Yeah.
Going towards the light. Whoa! You got it, girl?
I got it.
Alright, made it.
Oh yeah.
Reincarnation of the God Peshach, the creation God, the creation God manifests the Sakha, and then later became united with Osiris, become Abyss Osiris, or in Greek Roman time Serabius. And from that word comes Serabium. We have here 26 sarcophagi between 40 and 80 tons. Massive granite, and we said granite comes from Aswan. That means 1,000 kilometers away. These tombs been used for over 2,000 years. Starting the first king who used the cemetery, who established, who began with this cemetery, is the king Thutmose III, around 1400 BC, till Greek-Roman time, till the Roman Empire take over Egypt, the 31 BC. So each few years, they choose the chosen animal, the chosen bull. He has to have some marks on his head, on his body, and he became the holy bull. And after a few years, when he get old, they get rid of him, they bury him here, and they choose another one. That is the archaeological, the Egyptologist version. The problem is we didn't have any signs of any mummies here. They were all empty. And some of them were unopened. That means, what mean? We don't know how and why they make a sarcophagus like 80 ton and it's empty. Some people think that it was made for the creature which we found in the temple. This big pictures between human and animals. Most of them have inscription with the name. So the holy bull had a name. Huge, yes.
Which way? So these are tombs for bulls?
Yes.
Tombs for bulls.
It's a big bull. That's a big bull.
They're all big. Very big. This is a small one.
Oh my god. You have bigger ones? Oh my god. How big are these?
Giant bull.
Extended each time the tunnels.
Tombs for bulls.
Wow. Oh my god. Look at these.
Big bulls. They're cut precisely with extraterrestrial instruments. I think they're dead. Oh wait, we don't know where we're going. I guess we're following Jerry. We're following Jerry. Okay. Stay tuned.
That's weird because it's on the ground. What's that? What are we looking at?
Look, it's like a mirror. They are really well polished. Do you see my finger? The reflection of my finger.
It's really shiny. Yeah.
Marble, right?
It's a
Granite.
Granite. It's granite. Solid granite. So nice.
Now we make floors out of them. Kitchen floors is the most we do.
It's very unusual to make such a perfection granite, polished, but see, the
Extraterrestrial.
inscription is in a very bad shape. Look, that's why we think the inscription come very late.
You said it's in bad shape.
Yes, it's not good.
Really?
Not a good one.
Because of why? Because it's not deep.
It's not deep. It's not finished. It's like unfinished.
Oh, I see. Like this eye is not finished.
it's very good polished. See his head. It's like the mirror. It's really fine.
how to read?
I know how to read, yes.
What is this? His eyes is not reading.
Eye, the eye, and the throne is Osiris. The throne alone is Isis. That's Osiris. Osiris makes Osiris rich and give the letter A. The letter A.
Looks like an upside down umbrella.
Yeah, that's just for you, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, my umbrella.
You want me to take that?
Like a bowl. I'm ready. Is this a camel or a bull? No, thank you. No, shukran.
We come back. We come back.
Taxi. This is not safe.
You got it. Say, Aramba.
How do you make them stop?
Up here.
What's his name? Camel's name is Coca-Cola.
My son, here. This way. My son.
They're stopped in there.
Yeah.
He's grinning, saying, now let's tell us how long it is. Oh, put him up here then. Yep, let's leave him right here. Yeah.
Yes.
How far is it, Dominic? Not far. Okay, thank you.
Hello. No? Yeah, we just ran there. What's that? What is it? Is that?
Thank you.
Friend, say hi.
Hi, Finn.
Hi, friend.
Hi, Finn.
She's friend. Say hi.
Well, it's hard to use the bathroom. Like the bathroom? It's really hard.
Yeah, I bet. That's why it smells in
That's why I've been like, I feel like for her bathroom trip, you gave her your money.
Because also know I like to talk to them. Certain things were the same, but there were certain things that were like speaking different languages. You know, your favorite food is not your favorite food.
I don't celebrate Christmas. Why would you?
And remains over 100 of years. All the the wife, she has a temple. You don't have to go there. And in Luxor, there's another god. The temple is presented to the god Ka-Mut-F. When you go to the shop, you will take many shapes. The what? That's why duck. Yeah. That's why we think that Karnak comes from the Egyptian word Karak. On Karak, it means duck. As we'll see in the temples, like in Edfu, they worship the Fal, horse. They have a living animals, a living bird, and here in the holy lake, they had a lot of ducks. Yes. No, all the Egyptian temple, with one exception of the temple of Isis, is sandstone. Sure. All the temples in Egypt is sandstone, and that's why the son of Ra, Kha'u, the Lord of rised in the sky, and then his name. We have another titles. We have another. Let's go to the other shovel with the ram, the headed ram. And he, the king on the other side, and his queen, his wife, and making different rituals for the god. The sign here, it means one of them, it means God, nature, God. And plural, we have two options. The sign, and he makes like three, it means plural, or he make the three equal, it means plural, gods. The second title of the king, it's the one who belonged to the Nisubiti. Biti and Risu and Beat. These symbols for Lower and Upper Egypt. Lord, here we see Sarah, the son of Ra, the Lord of Lower and Upper Egypt. Here, Neb, Lord of the two lands, related to Egypt, Upper and Lower Egypt as well, and the name. And see Nefer, that means Nefer, beautiful. Jet, and is the eternal life, and Jet it means stability. The king is making the rituals. He wanted something from the gods. He gives and it comes something from God. So I give you the rituals. I am building temples, and you give me. You give me the throne of Egypt, the eternal life, and the stability, and that's all. It's giving and taking. Real wonderful statue of the king Ramses II.
With no face.
What is the famous king ever in Egypt? He ruled Egypt like for 66 years. Sorry. And the lady, do you remember the lady? Who were in the Queen. And she had like the same statue. The lady had a very wonderful dress and the crown. That's his daughter. She called Merit Amun, the beloved one from Amun. Merit. That the name Mary, to love. In old Egyptian language, to love. Mary, the Holy Virgin Mary, love. Merit Amun, the beloved one from Amun, and she was something special. Maybe Ramses got afraid from the powerful of the priest here in Karnak. He ruled Egypt from the north. He was in the Ramesseum, the city, It's a Nile Delta. So he had to control the priests here. So the first lady to rule here in the temple under the title of the wife of Amun. It was like she's the one, she makes the channeling and Amun speak through her. And that's a very powerful title because she had more power than the king himself. And when she said, Amun speak to you and say, who can say no? And this title started with the lady till 600 years. It was always here a lady controlling everything under the title, the wife of Amun, till the 26th, one of the king captured her and murdered the last one because she was very powerful, and of course it was very dangerous for the king. And she has a very beautiful temple in the Middle Egypt, and she has one of the most beautiful statues that ever. It is like 22-meter height.
Fighting against sea people?
Yes.
Coming with a boat.
And
Interesting.
he's now bringing, after he wins the battle, he's bringing the enemies to Amun-Ra, and it's always, I do for you, just give me. So when he go, the Egyptian didn't find because they were interested in another land. That was not the case, because Egypt was different, the Holy Land. Why Egypt is different of any other country, any other land? Why it's Holy Land? You know? This is the only land which get mixed with the blood and the body of Osiris. Osiris was cut by his brother, was murdered and cut in pieces. And if you see in different books, it's written 14 pieces. That's not correct, because in each part of Egypt it was a part of Osiris. So he get mixed. And when they celebrate the mystery of Osiris feast, they bring his sarcophagus and put it under the ground, and after a while you will see that the land is growing different than any other land. So all the world was not interesting for the Egyptian. And when the king go out with his army to fight, it means he only tried to protect Egypt and destroy the enemy of the gods, and then return. They never occupied any other country, because of course Egypt was different. Kemet, the black land or the black ground, which means the fertility of Osiris. So when he's bringing the animals to the god, it means I did my part, I destroyed your enemy, I make Egypt safe again. But why he insists to do such inscriptions outside the temple, not inside the temple? It's very important. The battle, blood, fighting belong not inside the temple. Inside the temple, there's other principle. In the Egyptian temple, it's the ma'at, the principle of justice. When he destroys the animals, when he protects the temple, it means he is protecting this principle of justice, the ma'at. the lady with the feather on the head. And Ma'at exists in the pre-existence. Ma'at belonged to the gods. She's always in the bark of Ra. He ruled with the Ma'at. You will see on the temple, the king is giving the Ma'at to the gods. Why? Because as he come on the throne of Egypt and became a king, he got the Ma'at from the gods, and the gods speak and say, you have to rule Egypt with the Ma'at, the principle of justice. And when he died and returned it back, that means I did my part. All were happy. No one land was not taken from anybody. I never killed. I ruled with the Ma'at. That's the principle of justice. So inside the temple is the Ma'at. There's no killing. There's no fighting. It's only peace.
What if the enemy was attacking the temple? Then there would be bloodshed in the temple.
He will defend the temple, of course.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
what if they breach the defense and they get?
That's me. The animals, of course, the animals of the gods and of the Ma'at itself. Ma'at. Yeah, Ma'at.
Actually, the one with the wings, right? I mean, Isis
We said
with the feather.
with the feather, but you have to read the text, please, because Isis takes the shape. All the Egyptian gods take the shape from each other, because the gods is not existing. It's only the attributes of the god. Attributes of the god. They are not like in Greece, in the old Greek-Roman time. They are fighting against each other. No, because we have the story, the end of the world story, that Ra became old, and the people refused to give him any, to make any rituals and to give him an offering. So he ordered his daughter Hathor to punish the people, but Hathor is the goddess of music, beauty. She can kill, she can punish. So she takes the shape of Sekhmet and went and destroyed the human. She was killing all the people all around the world. The people was crying, screaming, and the God decided to forgive them, and he called her back, but she refused to return. The blood of the human were very tasty, and she refused to return. So he sent Tuhut, the wisdom, of course, and Hos, the powerful one, and the wisdom, and they managed to return her back. So this taking the shape from each other,
Shape shifting?
yeah,
Okay.
it means she took her attribute, the aggressivity of Sekhmet, the willing to kill, and so on. It's something like in Islam, we have 99 names of the God. We don't have 99 gods. But God has 99 attribute names. And if you pray to God and you want him to respond, pray and mention the name number 100. God has a hidden name in Islam, and so on. Iman is the hidden one. It means the hidden one. If you know the name of the God, you will have his power.
So that's like Judaism, where they don't know.
Don't say it.
Don't say it.
Don't say his name.
That's correct.
Yeah. It's always a hidden name. the cartouche?
No,
Ptolemies?
right here.
And this is a kind of a fist. He's holding like a tent, the
Okay.
fest tent,
Okay.
and the god Nekhbet bringing the king. So an art feast, and here's the name, the two names. The first name as Sarah, the son of Fa, King Ptolemaeus, the El, and the first name as the one belonged to Upper and Lower Egypt, Nisubiti.
Isn't that what this is, upper and lower?
Yeah. Upper and Lower, the two signs here.
But isn't the two lines represent upper lower?
That's no, that's a letter Im.
okay.
That's letter Im.
Okay.
Ptolemaeus.
Okay.
But it's also important that one wing is up and one is down. One is for life, one is for death or something.
The wings?
Yeah, it depends on if they're down or up.
No, it depends how he stands. If he has, if he's looking to us.
Is that like a golden age? Do they actually meet at some point, or is that like the golden age and then
Backbones of Osiris.
These are considered the backbone.
Of Osiris. Beautiful.
This is the stability which.
That is strong. Very. That's
So we said the
amazing.
temple is symbolic for the whole cosmic world. Means when we remove the pillars, the sky, maybe the sky will fall on earth.
Wow, really? Wow.
That's what they thought back then.
Who knows? Well, you know.
The pillar,
Thoughts become
the broke, you will be dead. And we have special rituals I will tell you about in Abydos to get the backbones on the right place of Osiris. It means he will come alive again. It was a very important ritual.
Wow. Incredible. Amazing.
H. After he died, the king Moses III was a child. So Hatshepsut ruled Egypt 5 years long in his name, and after 5 years she declared her as the queen of Egypt and ruled Egypt alone. For a long time, like after Hatshepsut disappeared, one day we have no idea what happened. Maybe after the king Thutmose III was adult, he wanted the throne back. What happened we don't exactly know, but he get rid of her maybe, and get back the throne again. After a while, like 20 years after the time of Thutmose III, he began to scratch her name out of all the inscription.
Wow.
But of course, the obelisk, he can't remove the obelisk because it's dedicated to the god, to the sun god. Then he built a wall around the obelisk to hide it. The obelisk, it has to be one piece, and one obelisk, this obelisk is almost 400 tons. 400 tons, one piece from Aswan. Aswan is 280 kilometers to the south.
The ground is getting higher and the ceiling is getting lower. It's the holiest of the holiest.
Musimy włączyć lampę, bo nas only the two other women are not allowed to enter the holy city. Here, this is what we call Beni. There's two stories about the beginning of our world. The one with the water and the moon come out the water. The second one, the Ben stone come out of the water, the Ben stone, and on this stone, the God were sitting on this stone. So what we see here is symbolic for the Ben stone. And if we see that what exactly here is this abak. Usually in all the temples, the holy of the holy, the Ben stone, and on the temple stone, the holy bark for the God belong to the temple. In this bark, because every day when the king came, or the high priest, he opened the bark, he got a statue, usually was pure gold. A statue of the god, gold, and he started to make the rituals. So when you want to know what was here, just look at the walls. This is the bark of the god. And of course, if you see, it was closed. It was closed with the door because nobody allowed to enter, nobody allowed to see what's happening inside. These rituals were a mystery because he's making a certain ritual to allow Ra to raise in the sky. Actually, that's many powerful. This ritual was many powerful. So you have to work in yourself very hard to be able to receive these lectures or to receive this information. Till then, till you got this highest position as a higher priest, you are not allowed to enter or to see what's happening in the Holy of the Holies.
Oh, we're lucky then.
Yeah, we are very lucky, yes.